All right, welcome, Victory, the podcast. I'm Doug Ellin.
I'm Kevin Dillon.
I am Kevin Connolly.
And this is crazy. This is our 100th episode of this podcast.
Happy anniversary, guys.
100 episodes.
Wow.
Did you get me anything?
Yeah, I got you flowers, but I left them in the car.
I would say that it's flown by, but it hasn't.
It has for me.
Well, Dillon's been playing golf most of those
I get to
episodes.
sneak out, do a movie here and there.
Dylan's done 65 of the 100 episodes.
Is that the real number?
No, we don't have the real
No,
number.
I've done more than that.
I thought it was closer to 45.
What are you talking
Dylan-
about?
Dylan's-
By the way, I will be sneaking out again to do Buddy Games 2.
Oh,
We're
Games
going to do, yeah.
So
I thought
Dylan-
I'd hopefully be doing Entourage, the reboot, before Buddy
they
Games
can't
2,
do
but
it. It's not PC enough,
You
man.
have,
Yes,
but
it is.
have you read the script for Buddy
I
Games?
haven't.
You haven't, but
No.
they're happy with it. And it's
Did
going.
you read the script for Buddy
Josh
Games
told
1?
me that it's great, it's hilarious, and I'm waiting on it. It's
Did you
coming.
read the script for Buddy Games 1?
Yes.
Of course he did.
The script I haven't read is the reboot, Entourage, the reboot. I'm waiting for it patiently, and I'm starting to lose patience, to be honest with you.
well, we're
Let's-
working on
let's-
that.
But let's talk about.
No, I'm ready now.
But I got a couple of things I want
I
to
want
stay on
real
the
quick. Buddy Games 2, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a pretty big achievement on Josh Duhamel's part. An indie that does a sequel. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so everyone knows.
I can't believe how fast he did it.
But Buddy Games, Josh Duhamel wrote, starred, directed in it, and
Yep.
it came out streaming last
Yep.
year, and it
Great
was a
group
success.
of actors. Yeah, it was a
Right.
success, and I've never worked with better actors. I'm just kidding, Connolly. I'm
You're
kidding.
clearly
you
kidding.
guys are great.
I don't believe anybody got Golden Globe nominations and Buddy Games won, so I'm very comfortable.
Well, I think that's
Good point,
coming up,
good
those
point.
nominations, no? Josh Duhamel, Best Actor, Buddy Games. So I want to talk about a couple of things about this anniversary, because I walked into the office today. Again, I know we've talked about it. Connolly has such a massive space here. It's actually mind-boggling. But now I walk in, and here comes Stock Tip Dave, and he's in a suit and tie.
He's got a shirt and tie on.
I like
what
it.
is
I
that?
like it.
Was that a choice of his, or are you demanding that the office workers dress differently?
I'm demanding that Dave in the office dresses differently.
Just Dave.
I just want Dave to present himself like a professional.
No
you don't
more
like-
open-toed shoes.
No flip flops.
You don't want to see his feet.
Or a skateboard. He comes in and I don't know. I mean, it's for his. I'm doing it for him. It's for his own good. I
You're
want
trying to teach him some
want
stuff.
him to present himself like a professional.
Is he allowed to use the bathrooms anymore here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Scotty mentioned that Dave disappeared in there yesterday for an extended period of time. Well, he continues to blame other podcasters here at Action Park.
He walked in there with the New York Times, or probably the Post,
Yeah,
Daily News, maybe.
Stock Tip, as I don't know, he throws a lot of blame around about who's fucking up the toilets
Right.
at Action Park Media, whether it's a plumbing problem or whether it's one of your other podcasters' problems. What's the
But
answer?
he leads the company in shits in the new office. For sure.
It's a personal plumbing problem that he has.
Right. If we were looking at the statistics, I mean, it would be crazy. But other thing, Dave, I wanted to talk, Doug, you'll get a kick out of this. So Dave comes to me and he says, "Is it okay if I get a TV in my office?" And I was like, "You want to buy a TV and put it in your office and knock yourself out." So there, away he goes. Dave buys, I don't know, Dave, that's a big TV when you got a
With that
55.
giant thing out there?
50-inch LG.
He's got a 50-inch LG.
You want him watching TV on the job?
well,
Is that, you're cool with that?
I mean, he airplays things, but today I walk by and he's watching Saved by the Bell. Is that odd?
well, my question is about that
Yes.
is,
That's odd. No,
100%.
did you flip and find that, or did you actually download like the Nick at Night app to specifically watch
Why
that?
Saved by the Bell?
Because I was here at 8 in the morning, and I turned on Netflix.
I forgot to tell you that the plumber wasn't coming today. Dave was supposed to meet the plumber. I knew that, but you should be here to meet the plumber
I'm
anyway.
still
Okay.
trying. I'm still trying to get how you get on Netflix with 10,000 options, and Saved by the Bell is the one you choose.
Because I went on Netflix, and now, you know how you can shuffle your music on your phone and it randomly plays songs? Well, now it's doing that for shows, and you can choose what random show comes on.
So it recommended Saved by the
So I
Bell.
was like, why not? It's
But
8
this
o'clock
is
in the morning.
probably based on what you watch, Stock Tip, because I don't think Saved by the Bell is ever coming up in my recommendation.
not
By the
gonna
way,
recommend
I know
that
someone else here who used to watch Saved by the Bell.
Connolly?
KC.
Yeah, when I was 14 years old and when the show was
You
on.
were a big fan.
I used to watch it when it was on. Dave was an extra. Is that why you're watching it? You're
No,
looking for
I still enjoy
yourself?
The show, I still watch it.
Were you an extra?
It's odd.
Oh yeah, I was an extra in a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
I just think it's a random
You were an
show to be
extra
watching.
in a bunch of stuff.
Saved by the Bell.
I was but mostly WB. Any high school show, I was probably on like.
Unhappily Ever After? Did you ever show up on Unhappily Ever After?
No, I was on What's it called?
Spit it out, Dave.
Jeez, Dave.
I forget
Easy
it.
for you to say.
Dave, hit the bathroom,
That's
Dave.
it, Dave.
You're cut.
Dave, why don't you go take a shit?
Cut. Moving on.
Stop talking. Here we go.
All right,
moving on.
we got other business.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Doug.
Okay, well, I'm not sure. There's two elephants in the room. One, I'm officially not
I hope
getting
you guys aren't
Instagram
talking
back.
about me right now.
No, you're not an elephant. You're very lean and beautiful, Kevin Dillon. But
You're like a cheetah, Kevin.
yeah, so
Like
Puma.
a puma, bro. Puma. Get it
Couple
right.
of things. Just if anybody out there, Connolly doesn't think anyone really cares. I care, but Instagram is not coming back according to some hack.
Your Instagram is not coming.
Yeah, which is so sick because I've been scouring it. I've watched people threaten to kill people over the last few days. I've done nothing. I called a couple of people losers. Anyway, they're telling me I'm not getting my account back. So everyone, please, if you care about me at all, follow the Hollywood Ways account and the Victory the Podcast account. We have these live shows, and here's the reality. We're light on ticket sales. It's just
I think you're jumping the gun. I think you're jumping the gun.
I agree.
With who?
Stay cool. First of all, I think we're doing okay.
I think we're doing okay. You're
All right,
talking
we're
about
right
Kevin
where we need to
James.
be
Well,
at
let me
this stage.
I
explain.
agree.
Okay, well, Kevin James is playing the week after us, and he already sold out
Kevin
and added
James
a second
is a
date.
stand-up comedian.
I understand. Kevin Dillon is a stand-up guy.
You're damn right about that.
I guess the point is, and I think we should ask ourselves this question, is I don't think people know fully what the live show is.
So what is it? Kevin Dillon, let people know what they can
what
expect.
do you
Well,
think?
it's basically what we're doing right now, but it's going to be live, and we're going to be able to hang out with people, and
Right.
hang out with the fans, get to meet them all, take photos.
Yeah.
Autographs.
We're going to hang out. We're going
and
to
have a beer with you, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have some Irish
Dylan's already
crickets.
agreed to do shots with everybody else.
I will do a shot with every one of you.
I think it's more exciting
You're
than
gonna have
that,
to
so
carry me
I'll
out.
try my best to sell it. It really is not just us sitting on a live podcast. We are interacting. We are performing on a certain level. I know I'm not a performer. These guys are. But we have multimedia, and we have some exciting stuff. But what I'm going to say is what we said last week. If you're planning to go, stop telling me you're planning on buying the tickets and buy them now before they shut us down like
You think they would shut us down?
an LA restaurant gets shut
They would
down
shut
right
us down?
now.
Here's my thought. The theater holds 1,100 people. If we put 850, 900 people in there, that's a successful outing as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
no doubt.
Like Dillon was supposed to personally man the Portchester media. So
So right now, I'm just trying to cover you guys in Long Island. You guys can't even handle your own
I have
people.
I have
Our own
peeps.
people.
I have
Your own
50 people already
counties.
coming and bought
Nassau
their
County.
tickets.
I believe that the UBS Islander thing is hurting us a little bit. I think a lot of Victory the podcast, Long Island fans are going to be at the UBS Arena.
The Rangers are playing the Islanders on Kevin James night, and it's not hurting him. I'm just telling you.
I don't know. Listen. I'm one of those guys, Dylan. I know you're like this. We don't. I'm not buying tickets 6 weeks in advance of anything.
No,
right?
I don't do anything in
I
advance.
think you're going to see a major spike right before, like the week before the
because
show.
the truth is, if we do sell out, which I think we have a good chance of doing, you're not going to get a seat if you don't buy it a little bit in advance.
Right. I don't think you go the night before, but I think after Halloween you're going to see a spike.
All right. Well, I'm hoping, since these guys are much more confident than I am, so I'm begging, please, Long Islanders, Boston, Portchester, buy tickets now. Okay, we're going to
Doug,
give you a good chance.
we need you to get back on Instagram. So will you redo your Instagram? You could start from scratch.
Yeah.
Would they let
and
you?
we'll-
Would they let you do that?
I don't think they could stop you from doing that.
I
if
mean-
you're on your best
Well,
behavior.
he's been deplatformed. So is
real-
the idea to take your followers away or keep you off the platform?
Well, we still have Victory in Hollywood Ways, but I mean, there's no way to just get your followers back. And I know we had 150,000 on there, which is not that much.
Yeah, but it's a good
'Cause
promotional
They just
tool.
took, Scotty, our producer over there, was telling us that Julia Rhodes, who had 15 million followers, just vanished on Instagram. I don't know what she did.
Well, she was showing her breasts. I mean, it was
Kevin
she was
Dillon
like-
does that all the time.
She was clearly
you guys want to see my
violating.
breasts?
She was clearly violating guideline rules. But 15 million followers vanished into thin air fucking hurts. That's a stinger.
Yeah, she'd
That's a
probably
stinger.
sell out the Long Island.
I still have no idea who you're talking about. That's
She's
the
a-
funny
she's
thing.
a
is
social
50 million
media-
followers. I have no idea.
You know who she was? She's the girl that was
At the World
At the
Series.
World Series that was flashing Garrett Cole. Flashing. She was the guy
She was at the Astros World Series.
at the Astros World
She's
Series.
Jake Paul's girlfriend, too. Is she not? Am I wrong about that?
She is Jake Paul's girlfriend.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
fiance now.
Right.
Now, but if she starts a new account, Jake Paul pumps her up a little bit, and she gets millions of those back, right?
Yeah.
So it's a question of whether or not they want you off the platform altogether.
And it's also a question of whether my guys are going to pull a Jake Paul and pump me back up and get me back on.
Well,
the
if you play your cards right, Doug, maybe I'll think about it.
So, Victory the Podcast, 100th episode anniversary. Entourage only made it to 96, but we got to 100, and
Wow.
A lot cheaper.
hopefully we'll get to 200. So I want to talk just about,
We've had everybody, right? Except crazy thing is the only person really we haven't had is Grenier, right?
Yeah.
and I just saw Adrian on. He was talking about
Is there
farming.
anyone else? It's just Adrian.
We just did the Fireside app, which everybody should download that. We did a live thing where you interact with people, and that was pretty cool.
That's cool. I liked
Yeah,
it.
I enjoyed it.
It was very cool. But we were talking about some of our favorite things. And my favorite one, which I also think was great, and I don't know if we ever cut the behind the scenes, but while we were on the air, Dillon might remember this. I suggested that we do a St. Patty's episode. And Connolly, remember when he attacked me verbally? You remember that? It was,
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
you had to break us up because Connolly was like ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? He was like, I said, Bill Simmons can, just add an episode whenever he wants.
Yeah. Bill Simmons and his $200 million company.
And Connolly went, we're not fucking with the ringer, you motherfucker. and you were like, Kev, calm down. But anyway, Kevin pulled it together. And what we did was, which everybody should check it out because it was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
We got a bottle of whiskey and we said, we're not really going to edit it, even though Kevin says we did a little bit.
There was, just tightening up and some
Yeah.
editing. I mean, some cutting out some of your slurring words. It's funny. We the St. Patty's Day episode, we all got hammered. I noticed Doug is a sensitive, right? Doug gets very nostalgic when he gets a little alcohol buzz.
What did I do? I don't remember.
Well, we were like I don't know. We were like joking around. Remember, we're talking about I said something about my father, and you're like, Dillon says, why are you talking about his father? Remember, we had a little run on because my father passed away. We had a little run on that, and Doug clearly had a buzz on. He's like, no, I really want to talk about it. Doug, you noticed you got a little emotional.
It's an emotional guy.
It's an emotional guy.
I'm a sensitive guy.
Sensitive guy.
And, when you're talking about the family, obviously, which, all of us have
It's
lost.
cute.
All of us have lost a parent. So, it is.
Yeah,
it is
just
an emotional
recently
thing.
lost my dad.
I'm sorry about that again, Kevin.
What I remember was
you don't remember
Connolly
any
got
of it.
pretty damn. I was a mild-mannered reporter next to Kevin Connolly. Was shit-faced.
Right. I got hammered.
Threw
for
back
sure.
some shots.
Well, no, it wasn't the shot. I pounded that Guinness. Top to bottom.
yes,
that's
that's
one of
right.
my
That's right.
crowning achievement.
It's an interesting thing to
Yes, that
talk
was
about.
impressive.
I didn't know that I could do that.
You know what I like, though?
If you're a real man, you would have made it a car bomb. One of those.
Throwing a Jaeger shot at
This is an interesting conversation,
Jameson,
though,
bro. Jameson.
because you
Let's
guys
keep it-
know, which I've actually looked this up because I dated a girl who was an angry drunk. Like one drink, she's
Tell me about it,
hilarious.
bro.
Second drink, it's like, oh my God, calm down. But so I want to talk to you guys about, Connolly definitely, he got a little edgy, after a couple drinks. It's funny. I find you very funny. So what kind of drinkers do you think you are? You're now saying I'm a sensitive, emotional guy, which I think is a good one because I probably am going to get a fight. But what do you...
fun, bro. And,
Yeah.
and one thing had nothing to do with the other. Listen, I think Action Park and Victory now is a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
I mean, the editing is easier. Everything about doing this podcast is easier
Less
than
stress.
it was. Yeah, but in the beginning, it's just it's a lot, and I'm not complaining, but trying to get it to the well-oiled machine
No, I
that
get
it
it.
is.
What you've pulled off this year is amazing. But I don't even mean that because the Bill Simmons thing was before the St.
Before we
Patty's
started
thing.
drinking?
What kind of drunk, I guess, do you think you are?
I mean,
are you a happy drunk?
I'm
or-
fun to be
Depends
around.
on how many.
I'm-
It depends on the count.
I mean, I'm a fun guy, but I also
I am too until I get to about 7.
right. But I also never mix alcohol. Like I don't do shots. I do not do shots.
It's a lie.
It's true. I do not do shots.
Not a Jaeger guy.
anymore, you're
Not a
saying.
Jaeger guy, huh?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, if I start out the night, depending on what kind of a night I have, if I'm drinking red wine, I'm drinking red wine.
Yeah,
Or my
that's good.
other
That's a good
go-to
thing. Yeah, don't
is
mix 'em up.
vodka soda. That's what I drink, right?
Well-
But I'm not going to be like, hey, let's, I'm not doing a Jaeger bomb, put it that way.
Well,
right?
I'm going off a little bit on a tangent now just because Connolly mentioned this before we got on camera. But, one of the things on Entourage, I was never willing to have these guys do cocaine and stuff because it's always a thing. And I'm not trying to be I think it's just a dirty drug, and when you go down that road, which we did that one season, it's dirty. But Connolly, you mentioned you
a dirty drug.
randomly in the bathroom the other day at a club. You're 46 years old, and
I was at a.
someone offered you blow?
I was at a golf tournament, and this guy came into the bathroom and he offered me cocaine, and I looked at him. I say, "Are you crazy?"
This is a midday golf tournament too.
No,
Charity.
whatever. It's the evening,
Yeah.
but he was like mortified that I was like questioning, because I mean it's dangerous, man. It's just dangerous. It's not what it was 5 years ago. Let
me be clear though. You weren't. I mean, as far as I know, you weren't doing coke.
No,
5 years
You could
ago.
be snorting fentanyl or something like that.
That's my
one
point
those
of what I'm
crazy-
saying. So
yeah.
I'm saying that it was a two-part thing. A, I'm not doing cocaine at all anyway. But even if I was, you don't do it with a guy that you met in the bathroom. He was like wildly offended.
So what happens? He walks in and
He walks in, and I was at the urinal, and there was a toilet bowl but no door, which is weird, but it was what it was in the bathroom. And he said, "Hey, do you want to do some coke?" But I had a few drinks.
What's
I was
he
like,
doing in there? Is he sitting on
He's
a
snorting a fucking.
No, but is he sitting on a toilet? Or is
No,
he
he was
snorting?
standing there. He went in there to do it, and then he
watching.
got indignant and offended that he kind of pushed in his poker hand, right? He asked me, I shot him down for two reasons, but he was more offended that I didn't trust his cocaine.
His quality of cocaine.
His quality of cocaine didn't have fentanyl in it. I'm just like, dude, I don't, we don't. It's just dangerous, So
I really feel though, this pandemic, and this is just a total separate thing, but cocaine is really on the rise in this city. And again, I'm not a cocaine guy, never was.
I don't think it's on the rise. I think it's on the radar because of what's happening with people dropping dead, right? I don't know that there's been a spike in it or anything.
Well, I would tell everybody, we mentioned this before, but on Amazon, if you're doing cocaine, I'm not judging you. I wouldn't do it, but there's like a fentanyl tester, so you don't have to die. Because
Hey, Scotty, will you look that up on what do those cost, and where would you
Nothing.
get something
They're
like
like
that?
They're like $20.
By the way, look
For
at
like a
Scotty.
pound.
Look at Scotty.
But-
He's like,
but
I got the
the-
link right now.
Why would you know that?
But Scotty, is it like convenient? I mean, could they sell them at
It's
7-Eleven?
like a chlorine tester, so it's like you dip it in and it immediately tells you.
God, could you
Boy,
imagine?
you sound like you really know what you're doing there, bro.
But could you imagine like having like a bag of cocaine and like dipping it in there and seeing like, oh my God, thank God we didn't do this.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
can
mean?
totally
Like-
imagine it because we know Michael K. Williams, and I think it was heroin, but there was fentanyl in it. And the comedians
That's
happened
a
to.
crazy story about the comedians. They were at a party and like they were just. I don't think. Point is that I don't think they were like having some like coke party. I think they were. It was just kind of floating around. And a bunch of, like a couple people died, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's scary.
Well, anyway,
It's scary.
my
Let's
first
move on
advice:
to-
stay away from cocaine. But if you do, get a fentanyl tester for $20, and
They should put those everywhere.
Yeah, well,
It should
it's
just
like,
be everywhere.
It's like condoms should be everywhere, but somebody's going to argue that they won't be anyway. So, so back to the St. Patty's episode. Why it was so fun and why it was great, and maybe I did get emotional because we did go a little deeper because we did have some alcohol and we still had a lot of fun. So everybody should check
and
that
then
out.
we went to Dantana's.
Didn't I bite a piece out of a can? Did I bite the can?
You bit the
think
can,
you
yeah,
did,
like
yeah.
Platoon. You
I did. I took a chunk out of a can during that St. Patty's episode.
And then Connolly mentioned Dantana's, which I just am going where we're talking. But
I had to get driven home.
oh,
Yeah, I wasn't going to drive home after that. I mean, I got pretty.
you got an Uber?
stock tip. Dave drove me home.
Did he need a bathroom stop on the way
Yeah,
home?
he had to stop and take a dump at Swingers. Right there.
Well,
He blew up their bathroom.
Dillon, we've never discussed this, but I've been eating at Dantana's with Connolly for 20 years now. He does the same shit, which I find so weird.
We've eaten there together.
We've eaten there many
Yes,
times
yeah.
together. I'm just saying, but Connolly we're talking about it. Like,
This is not weird.
it's so weird. He orders chicken parmesan
love
and
it.
then peels the parmesan
That's
off.
weird. That is
Tell him
weird.
what- tell him
you
why,
take
Dillon. You don't know why?
I know, because it's got carbs. You want to take the carbs
No,
off,
no,
and
no.
you like the tender. It makes
You get the juices.
The juices,
You get
the
the oils.
tenderness, yeah.
It softens up, and the chicken is like you literally don't even need a knife at Dantana's. You cut it with a
And you
fork.
think it's because the cheese is cooked on
cheese
it.
He
is
doesn't want
cooked
the
at
bread
4
in there.
million degrees. It's like cooked in it, and you get the juices and the oils and the flavor without. I'm telling you, you scrape that cheese off of your chicken parm, and it's on a plate. You go, yo, I just took that out of my arteries.
well, it's
a win.
It's the cheese and the breadcrumbs.
But you can
scraping
order-
it all off.
No, I'll keep the breadcrumbs.
But you can order a Milanese and you can get a sauce, but you're saying the
not-
cheese is
cheese cooked in at that temperature. You
If
get the
there-
flavor and the
If
juice.
there is ever a celebrity master chef, I want you to do that in front of Gordon Ramsay. I want to see
I'll
that.
Yeah,
bet you,
scrape the cheese off.
I'll bet you Gordon Ramsay would agree with me. Not that I should
On
take
the
it
flavor,
off,
you're
but
saying
why?
you
but-
still get
Right, because when I first time I did it, Nino, the head chef, he came out looking for blood. Right? He saw the
Really?
Like in Caddyshack when the chef comes out with a knife.
Dude, he came out with his headband, sweating, like looking like who the fuck, and he saw that it was me. And it's funny because now he puts extra cheese on it. I'm like, dude, I don't care. You putting extra cheese? I'm just taking the extra cheese off.
So are you?
He
you
knows
getting,
I'm a value
Are you getting like the
customer.
remnants of cheese, so you feel like you're eating
You get
cheese?
the flavor without
moisture,
the
the
moisture
flavor.
without the 5,000
You know, I'm going to Dan
calories.
Tana's tonight, and if I feel like if I did that, I'd be so humiliated in front of the people I'm going with. I want.
I just don't care. I scrape it off. I put it on a side plate. If somebody, I offer it to whoever.
Some homeless
See, if
guy.
I didn't know you and I was with you, I would be like, this guy's on fucking low.
Let me
This
tell you
is the
something.
weirdest thing I've
Let me
ever
tell you
seen in my
something.
life.
Every single time I do it, somebody that's sick, because I usually will eat at the bar, somebody sitting next to me is like, why don't you just get every single,
Yeah.
why don't you just get the Milanese and splash a little tomato sauce
I don't
on
blame them. I don't blame them
Right.
for involving
and you know what I
themselves
say?
in this.
Why don't
Mind
you
your business.
not worry about what I'm doing
Don't
to
you
my
worry
chicken
about it.
parm, and
Don't
you worry
you
about
worry
your
about it.
cacciatore, and like let's just go on with our lives.
And this is what I'm talking about. If Connolly's on his third drink, Mad Dog Murphy
He
will
might take
come
a swing
out.
at you.
Do not ask him about his cheese.
Hey, why
after
do you scrape the
drinking.
cheese off?
Yeah, but honestly, like, would you comment on a if Kev, you're sitting at the bar, you're having a glass of wine, you're watching a football game, would you in a million years comment on your stranger, the guy sitting next to you that you don't know? You would?
The fuck you scraping that cheese off for, bro?
Dillon would take his face and mash it into the plate. But the funny thing is, Connolly's like,
Eat
would
it
you-
or wear it.
Would you comment? Connolly's famous for if someone, which I like it, I'm with you, and I've done it myself. When someone walks out of a bathroom without washing their hand, Connolly's like, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, he'll go after
Curse
the
and
guy.
I'll say, yeah, you should wash your hands. You should head back in there and wash your hands.
Did you ever or not? Because we've had some debate about this. Did you ever, like Buddy Revell in 3 O'Clock High, did you ever take a guy who didn't wash his hands and get his foot in the urinal and flush it on him?
By the way, I know it feels like we're beating up on him today, but I have to make sure that Dave really, really washes his hands because he's got
Stock
a
tip.
stock tip, Dave. Yeah, he's got a scrub.
Are your hands wet, Dave?
I'm like, Dave, I'm not going to ask you to do the whole alphabet. I'm going to ask you to do half the alphabet.
I'm going to check the soap. If it's dry, you're going to catch
By the way,
beating.
you know what you can get him? Get him the iWatch because the iWatch, as soon as you wash your hands, it does a 30-second countdown. And if you, God forbid, don't finish it, your watch shames you. It's like... Basically, yeah, it basically does what you do to someone coming out of the urinal. It's like, are you out of your fucking mind?
I don't, you like to add, it sounds rhythmically better when I curse, but would never say it to somebody. I really more like,
What
come
have you
on.
said?
I say, buddy, go in and get back in there and wash your hands.
And did they ever respond to you like negatively?
Most of the times, if they're not washing their hands, like, yeah.
What do they say?
They wash their hands.
So they go right back in.
They're like, yeah, they're kind
So
of
you
embarrassed.
probably single-handedly stopped the spread of COVID in Los Angeles.
While we're talking about doing weird things, and this I saw, and I was fucking jaw dropping at Dan Tana's. Guy orders a glass of wine and orders ice cubes and puts the red wine in his glass.
no, unacceptable.
Puts the ice right. I
can't
agree.
do it.
I
Can't
agree.
do it.
But I'm not going to say anything to him. It's not my business, and it's not my wine. And furthermore, it's a house wine that the guy wants to put. So the guy.
That's not even close to ripping
I
off
might
the cheese.
just bring it up. I would go. Did you get the wrong order or something? Because that's what it would look like. Oh, I didn't order this. I wanted
Are
the
you talking
Milanese.
about? Oh, you're talking about
Well,
with
I
his
think
cheese.
that's what he's saying, bringing up the wine.
Yeah,
Would you
well,
call
but-
someone on, ask? Would you ask someone?
this is what happened. So one of the regulars at Dan Tana's, the guy comes in, the guy's putting ice in his wine, and the Dan Tana's regular is like, that's weird. And
In red wine.
In red wine. Guy starts and right away, it was obvious to me that this guy didn't want to talk about it with anybody, never mind this guy. He eventually turns to him and goes, yeah, well, you're not drinking it, so don't worry about it. He says to the
Don't
guy.
you worry about it.
Yeah, but he just kind of said it like that. And the guy kept going, and he turned around and he dumped that glass of red wine over the dude's head.
Whoa.
And then there was melee ensued.
Wow.
Do you remember? Well, I
It's
want
pretty awesome.
So you might slap someone upside the head with a chicken parm, wouldn't
dude,
you?
this guy was not. He gave one warning of like, hey, man, it's not your wine. Mind your business. And then the second time, there was one warning and then a fucking wine dump on the head. It was vicious.
Well, I want to get to two things on this before we take a quick break, but viciousness on my birthday. You were at. Dillon never shows up at my birthday things. Mastro's, April 6th. This is probably a decade ago.
Is that when you choked me?
What? No.
You did it on his birthday?
No. But a girl, I mean, this was crazy.
Oh, my God, I was there.
This.
By the way, we were all there. Dillon might have been there.
Dillon was the only one not there. I mean, we had everybody. Dice was there. Rex was there. Adrian was there.
was like-
Jerry was there.
yes,
everybody
everybody
was
was
there. And this girl says to her friend,
Well, she's walking by the bar at Mastro's, okay? And there's like an older gentleman like sitting at the bar by himself, right?
I don't know what he looked like, but she says to her friend, does my ass look fat? And the guy at the bar goes, yes.
Yep.
And she turns around, not funny. She turns around, takes a glass, and smashes him in the face with a glass.
Oh, my God.
Busted him wide
Oh, my
open.
gosh.
She was charged with like mayhem. It was-
I checked in on it. She got a year in jail.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
my God.
Which she should, by the way.
She disfigured the guy.
But he deserved a
She
slap
cut him open,
for sure.
you're saying.
Oh, Kev.
I definitely was not there. I would have remembered that.
I mean, it was wicked. I mean, the cops, and by the way, they were not messing around. She was on the curb in handcuffs. Into the back of the car she went, and then sometime later, I asked the bartender. I said, "Whatever happened?" She said, "Oh yeah." Now, whether or not she served a year, but she got a year and whatever. Probably
The
did a
only
few
time
months
I've
in
been
jail.
with you on my birthday, I think, was when you were peeing in a cup at the U2 concert on my birthday.
I had to. Anything to keep the show going. The show must go on.
Did you pee in a cup on the floor at the?
I did.
At the YouTube concert?
And last thing, just Dan
You guys,
Tennis-
you don't remember? You guys, we all cuddled around me so we could.
Ew.
Gather around, cover me up, guys.
Did Connolly tap or
Peeker.
He helped me shake. He helped me shake.
And last thing about Dan Tannis, since we're talking about very famous Hollywood restaurant Dan Tannis, you know Glenn Fry and Don Henley were in there. They saw an old man with a young girl, which happens all the
Can't
time.
hide your lion eyes.
They came
wrote
up with
that
lion
song
eyes.
at that back table at Dan Tannis.
Yeah, and since we might have a younger audience, I'd love you to listen to it so
Great
you don't
song.
hear the Connolly version in your head for the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
that was terrible. And the other thing that was the last place that Phil Spector ate before he killed that girl. A bunch of the busboys had to testify about what he was drinking and all that kind of stuff.
Good stuff, and we'll come right back, talk some more memories.
Yeah.
As we're taking a trip down memory lane of our 100 episodes. We made it, guys. We couldn't fucking get to 100 on Entourage, but we did it here, and feels good.
It was fun.
We will, though, get to 100. Reboot, baby, reboot. Just putting that out there.
I like the Charlie Sheen one.
great.
But I
That was
don't want to
fun.
use the word starstruck. He's just really fucking cool.
You know, it was
He's a
really
great guy.
You know, it's so cool for me though. Obviously, I grew up watching Charlie and Kevin Dillon, which is weird. But you know how much he loved Entourage. The guy watched all 8 seasons in like 3 days, and he really loved it. And it was cool. It's
Well,
cool
because
to
he
do.
hadn't seen a single episode until he did the podcast.
Right.
The first one.
Yep.
And then he went back and watched everything.
It's pretty wild. But so funny things happen there. Again, Action Park Media has gone through its hiccups and stuff. And, you know, we didn't greet Charlie at the. I want to talk about that, though, today, because Action Park is everything is getting better and more real. Like it started out like this was almost a hobby house, and now it's turning into this real business. But today, I've been trying so hard since our trip. We all went away together. We're not allowed to say where because COVID restrictions. But anyway, we all went away together, and I've been so healthy and working out, and I've just had a complete meltdown over the last month. Today, I come in with my mush. I'm so happy to eat my oatmeal. And Connolly now has bagels. They're like tons of bagels.
Well,
Like,
he didn't force feed you 2 of them. I mean, you ate both of those on your own.
Doug's pounding his fists on the table. Doug's like, I started with mush and now I'm on my second bagel.
I was like, nice. Hit those carbs, Doug.
Well, we had a big day here today, so I thought, I knew we were going to be here for a while, so we got some bagels.
it was very nice of you, but I'd rather you bring the mush because Dylan and I both ate bagels, and you feel like hell after
You have a
do it.
weakness for bagels, Doug.
I didn't go for seconds. Let's just put it that way.
I'm an addict. I am almost like a drug addict with food. You give me the wrong thing and it just keeps going and going. And I'm up legitimately 7 pounds since we landed in the United
God.
States from our trip 3 weeks ago. So anyway, but the hiccups started and Charlie Sheen comes and,
There was hiccups before that, right?
Oh, yeah,
I
but-
mean, well, listen, like when you think about the Gary Busey episode, and I'm not being dramatic, like that episode, that day almost killed me.
well,
He kidnapped Dave. He stole the company car. He was there. He wouldn't leave.
You were stressed.
I was stressed because
but Busey got in the car with Stock Tip Dave, who went to pick him up, which during a pandemic, this was at the time when nobody understood what was happening here. People
Right.
seemed to be dropping dead all the time. No, there was no vaccine yet. And Gary Busey wanted to get in the car with somebody else with no mask and light up a cigar.
Clearly an anti-vaxxer.
He lit up a cigar, though. If anyone lit up a cigar in my car ever, I mean, maybe in 1972, that's acceptable behavior, but it's
Do you
not.
know
normal.
what went into the editing of that episode?
Tell
I
me.
mean, it was just hours and hours and hours of editing, and that's not what podcasts are supposed to be. It just
Was it a good episode? episode?
It's a good episode, but he just leaves a big imprint. Like, it shouldn't have been. We did a 40-minute interview. It's like, dude,
Do you know
come
what-
in, do your interview, and get
Do you know what he did during the filming of this? We didn't have budgets for that. Gary would speak for 45 minutes and burn reels
Not
and
only
reels.
that, but it's also rude to smoke a cigar in a room in an enclosed room full of people. I love Gary, but it's just like, it's a selfish
I
thing
love
to
it.
do.
Connolly, like he's not afraid to tell the guy that he shouldn't put rocks in his wine, but he was afraid to tell Busey that he was kind of rude. Are you scared of Gary Busey?
I wouldn't want any beef with Gary. No, I mean, Gary.
What about you, Dillon?
No, I don't want any beef with him.
Dillon is.
I mean, I'm not afraid of him. But.
Dillon thinks that
You're not afraid of Ronda Rousey. How can you be afraid of Gary Busey?
Dillon thinks that Busey dials it. Dillon thinks that Busey's more normal than he
I think
comes off.
a little bit of it's
Right,
a bit.
Kev?
I think a little bit, yeah.
Right.
So, but anyway, back to Chuck Sheen, though.
Yeah.
Chuck Sheen, came in, doesn't get paid. He's here as a favor and a friend. And his
Guy's
car.
got a gazillion dollars. What are we supposed to pay him? SAG minimum?
No, I'm not saying that he wants money.
Gas
I'm just
money?
saying he's doing us a favor, and we got his car locked up in the garage, and he had a.
I will say that was my most embarrassing moment at the former studios.
Yeah.
The Action Park Studios. I mean, his car, and then, then there was a thought of like trying to get in, and it's like, last thing you need is Charlie getting arrested, like breaking into the garage on Robertson, like trying to get his car. I mean, just instinctually, he was like trying to figure out a way in, right? But, he caught himself. But that
Charlie was so nice about it. I'm just
Right.
wondering, Andrew Whitworth's become a friend of ours from the Rams, Hall of Famer to be, who invited us to go to the game this
He
Sunday.
texted us right after the game.
Yeah, that was pretty
And
awesome.
he literally was probably still in pads when he texted us.
But what I want to know, Connolly, is if you got Andrew Whitworth, 6'8", 290, whatever, if you got his car locked up or impounded, would you be nervous? Or no?
Charlie was very gracious about it, and he actually was like, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But I got to imagine when he got in the Uber with his buddy that he was fucking, there's no way, right?
Well, he hasn't spoken to me since, so
Right,
I don't know.
but I'm saying there's no way he was like, oh no, it's fine, don't worry about it. He was like, could you imagine? He must
is
have
Bush League,
This is
man.
fucking- But they since extended that parking lot stays open for a couple hours earlier.
great.
Maybe it was because of Charlie Sheen.
Making a scene. Well, what's some other great memories? One of the coolest things, honestly, it felt like right out of Entourage because we got Jeremy Piven to come on the show, and all of a sudden he's like, I got a surprise, and Mike Tyson was there
was
with
amazing.
Rex. I mean, how cool was that?
Very cool, yeah.
One of the memories that I have that leads us to something that I swore I would never talk about again, but there is movement. So the Conor McGregor chair, right?
Oh.
Right. Did you hear this, Dylan?
Well, I know it's gone missing.
Well, apparently it's en route coming back to me.
Well, it's coming to me.
Well, he asked for both of our addresses, but what happened was I was joking with Coach Kavanaugh on his Instagram, and I was like, you stole my chair, blah, 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 but I didn't, and he's right. I guess I didn't put like an emoji.
You
right?
called him a thief.
No, I did not call him a thief. I said, you stole my chair, embarrassing.
Oh, so it doesn't say. I just want to be clear because Coach Kavanaugh, who I rolled around with on the mat in a jiu-jitsu training
Yeah, I
session.
want no piece of
You do
Coach
not want a piece of this guy. And he called me up. He goes, Connolly called me a thief. I don't know if that's
I
exact
don't know who
accent.
you guys are talking
Coach
about.
Kavanaugh is Connor's trainer.
Okay, well,
Connor's,
the world doesn't know who this guy
Right.
is.
No, but
Just
everyone involved with
for
the podcast besides you knows who
Connor's
it is.
coach he came in and he went to get the chair signed. He took the chair and the chair went missing.
Okay.
Whatever it is. But I didn't call him a liar. I didn't call him a thief. I said, you stole my chair, embarrassing. Now, I was 100% kidding, but he's right, I guess. He doesn't know me that well. Like if I would have put a wink emoji or the shamrock or something to kind of lighten it, he took it the wrong way and he said, I'll be in LA November, December, and I'll come see you.
I had a call with him before that.
Whoa.
Right? I'm like, okay.
With or without the chair.
Well, I mean, come see me. I mean, I think
Yeah,
he was
like, I'm gonna
basically
come and
saying
get
he's going
you.
to come choke me out. which
I
would have been
spoke to him
terrible.
for a long time, and I'm telling you, he's a really sweet guy, but he is a tough.
Yeah, of course
guy.
he is. He's an 82-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. Of
Yeah.
course he's tough.
Oh my-
I called him. I said, John, like, look, I'm uncomfortable that the chair is missing, and it's not a big deal. The world has seen greater tragedies, but yeah, I'm a little disappointed about the chair. I apologize if it came off wrong, the wrong way. So I apologize. We were laughing by the end when he comes in November, December. Now instead of choking me out, we're going out for a couple bevies.
And he'll come on the podcast.
Will he have anything to sit on, or are you going to have a chair, or no?
But
What happened to the chair?
The next day he called and asked for Doug. He called to ask for Doug's address and my address, and he said he was FedExing the chair.
Well, I want a chair too. If Doug gets one.
Well, he doesn't have chairs just lying around. This was Connolly's chair.
Well, why is he getting your address?
Because I think he was gonna. This is before he and I patched it up.
Yeah, he was just going to send it, but I don't know. I mean,
And is he sending it back with a signature?
we're going to find out.
I'm
But
afraid of what Connor wrote on that chair.
it leads us to two things. First of all, we should get him on our St. Patty's 2021 episode. That's number one. But number two, since we're talking about this, Dillon, and you could weigh in, and Connolly's going to say whatever he wants. Connolly made the argument that if I wanted a Leo poster signed, he'd have it done in 24 hours.
He did say that.
Connolly's had the poster for a week.
He's on vacation. I spoke to him.
Oh.
I wanted to do it today. I said, hey, I got to, and you know what he said? Yeah, absolutely. I'll be back next week. And yeah, that's really very simple.
We'll see.
But I think
because I'm going to put on.
I want a poster too now.
Connor probably took a look at that chair and said, fuck that. I'm not signing that chair.
I'm wondering if Leo's going to say the same thing about the poster. And if I had Instagram, I would put on your Instagram that you're a thief.
Did Connor win the fight or no?
No, he lost.
So maybe that's why I didn't want to sign it, bro.
I don't know. Coach Kavanaugh should have been like, dude, this is not a great. He's not going to want to sign this chair. Do you have a Jose Aldo chair?
I smuggled that chair.
Yeah.
I hope Leo likes the poster I sent him. My buddy Frank Juvenello sent it to me. What if he's like Dillon in the pilot? Where he's like,
Leo's probably offended that you guys are insinuating that him and Tarantino stole that bit from the episode of Entourage.
Yeah. Listen, just to be clear on that,
Doug's got to clear everything up now. He's
I got to clear everything before I
Instagram.
get banned from everything. But obviously, Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorites. Leo, as nasty as he is to me when he calls me the producer, which is just so fucking demeaning and ridiculous. But I love both of them. They're two of the greats of all time. We know that Quentin watched the show, and we know that Leo watched the show. So they saw it, and they know.
So you think that scene
you
is
aired
based on
both scenes? Didn't you show both scenes right next to each other?
We showed them.
And it's surprisingly similar. I mean,
listen, whatever.
Fuck it. It's plagiarism. Plagiarism.
No, it's not. It's not plagiarism. It's a homage, and I think it was that, and I feel good about it. And I feel good that Dillon could have done Titanic. I'll still stand by that.
And in
King of the world.
in closing here of our 100th episode of Victory the Podcast, I guess the question is, Doug, and again, that's just the last thing I'm going to say about the Instagram thing. What we need to find out is if you're allowed to start over.
Of course, I'm allowed to start over.
Yeah.
And if you are allowed to start over, let's just do it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, fun for you.
You'll climb like the NASDAQ in the 80s.
Listen,
you're just going to go, we're going to get you right back
I
up
think
there.
we have to ask if you're allowed.
I have the Hollywood Ways page. It's verified, and it's at 11,500. It is not easy to get them back. It's just that
Maybe
simple.
you could do Doug Ellin's Hollywood Ways and have that change.
I think it says it that.
Where's Victory?
Victory's there too, but I don't.
Victory's up there, right?
I don't use
You'll
Victory.
get yours back in no time.
I don't use Victory for my personal things. I put a couple of
the podcast.
I put a couple of my own things in there that I think speak to the show, but it is what it is.
Doug's not making any political statements on the Victory page. Not that you did on your own page, but look, what you do on your page is your business. That's my thought anyway.
Yeah, but
I
also
think it was unfair what happened.
Just don't scrape the cheese off.
Yeah, but also what it is like, it really is. It's a tool for us. It's tough to get the word out about these things. Again, talking Long Island, Huntington, November 20th. Boston, the Wilbur Theater, December 2nd, and Portchester, December 3rd.
Be there.
A lot of tickets.
I feel like Connolly is like Ike Turner and we're Tina Turner. He's like, get out there, sell these tickets, and you get on stage no matter how you're feeling.
I just think that you're selling yourself a little short. I think we're going to be okay.
I don't even think anyone gives a shit about me. So it's you guys.
You're clearly setting yourself up for that. So
it's our fault.
Right. In failure,
our
it'll be
fault,
like,
yeah.
well, I don't know.
You are
nobody
the
keeps
creator
me.
of Entourage.
You're
You were
from Long
Doug
Island.
Ellin.
You have a million friends on Long Island.
They're
Everywhere
old.
we go.
I'm old.
Keep your
They're
head up, bro.
dying. They're dying off.
So they should be there. They should
I
be
have,
there.
as I said, 50 of my friends have already purchased tickets. That's in the count already, which is terrible. I was hoping they didn't. I was like, you guys didn't buy your tickets yet. They're like, yes, we
Oh
did.
yeah,
I was like,
us and everybody we know.
So anyway, this was fun. It's been a great year getting back together with you. It was great having Obviously, it was great having everyone, Jerry, Emmanuel, Constance, Carla, everyone that's come on, DK Metcalf. So we thank everybody, and we're going to keep this rolling, hopefully. And who knows where the future takes us. But Connolly, it was a great idea you came up with. I'm glad we're still going. And I got to go because I got to do my other podcast,
I gotta
Hollywood
go.
Ways.
I got a lot of important things going on right now. I got to go.
Buddy Games 2. Dave's got a Buddy Games 2 script reading.
That wraps up another episode of Victory the Pod.
I think we need a big victory going out here, huh?
All right, that wraps up another episode of Victory the Podcast. I'm Doug Ellin at Hollywood Ways on Instagram, and follow us on Fireside. I think Connolly has an account.
I'm Kevin Connolly, and you are
Kevin Dillon. Victory!